Okay, the assignment setup. This might be a long and difficult video. So you can go to the front of your course, click Add an Activity or Resource, and then you can click Assignment to get to the same place as here. This is an already half set up assignment. Please give it a name that the students will understand. Please don't include the teacher speak. Description, please include things like word count and the things that students will need to know as they're about to submit. So saying, the new Moodle instances have activity instructions, which is a place for the same sort of information, and you put that will be available to students just as they submit. So my recommendation for this process is the course guide leading to an assignment book, and then at the bottom of each page of the assignment book, a link to one of these submission areas. That's my recommendation. It sort of ensures that students have gone, okay, I know the assignment is due at that date, click, read through the instructions, click, and now they know where to submit. You will need to train the students to do that. Additional files, you may include the PDF or the Word document or PowerPoint that you've created around the assignment. I do think that having two sources of information in front of them may increase cognitive load, but it's up to you. Allow submissions from, and you can always show the description. That's this one and not this one. So before that date, you can show the description. Due date is the day where it cuts off, but students can still submit, but it's marked in red. Cut-off date when students cannot submit anymore. Remind me to grade by is an email sent to you saying, hey, you need to get these graded and sent back to the students. So as I said, we're going to deal with file submissions only at this point. I recommend one, but you may have an assignment that wants something different. We'll talk about that a bit later on. Choose the size according to what your site allows and what is feasible for the students to produce. The smaller, the better. Accepted file types, you can choose what you want them to submit. Maybe you only want images, maybe you want a document, maybe you want PowerPoint. I've set this for documents only, so a PowerPoint file will not go in, but a PDF or a Word document will. Feedback types, to give feedback. Feedback comment tends to be on all the time anyway. I think that's a nice thing to have. Annotate PDF, it's rather difficult to use. Offline grading worksheet, that's a whole nother process. And feedback files, we want to be able to add all the student submissions back at one time. Comment in line, this applies only when you're doing an online text from your students. Submission settings, require the students to click the submit button. I leave this at no. If it's on, students submit once and it's draft. And it's a nice idea, but students will usually forget that it's a draft and you can't see it. And then they start, well, I've submitted it, where is it? In that whole process. Require that students accept the submission statement. Absolutely. These can be changed by your institution to include, this is all my own work. It's, all the rules that you expect students to do before they submit something. Additional attempts, never, means that they can submit as many times as they want, pretty much, until the due date. Then they can't do it anymore. You can change that to manually, so you can click and make it available to students again, or automatically until pass, which means you have to set a pass grade. Group submission settings. Be a little bit careful with this, because when students submit in groups, and there's often one student who wants to do something different, if that second student submits after the other students, it will change all of the other student submissions. Watch that. Notifications. Think about who is going to be warned about something being submitted. It can have some interesting consequences. And grade, you can have a scale, or you can have points, and the points might be a maximum grade of 10. Perhaps do your weighted number in there. So if the assignment is worth 30, then give it a grade of 30. I'm going to leave the rest of the stuff. Grade to pass. Additional attempts automatically until pass means you need to give them a grade over this number. Common module settings. Thinking about the separate groups. If you have a large number of students and you create groups, you're able to download just that group's set of information as opposed to all the students and then trying to sort out who's marking what. Maybe that helps you. Okay, save and display, and you're ready to go. I hope that helps.